Hey guys, let's go ahead and finish up lesson 3 notes. How does energy move in ecosystem? Matter cycles through an ecosystem. So we have got from the atmosphere down to the earth and from the earth back up to the atmosphere. So the 4 that we studied is that we have the hydrogen cycle, we have the nitrogen cycle, we have the water cycle, and we have the oxygen cycle. Energy flows through an ecosystem. So it moves in a straight line through feeding relationships. It does not cycle back up to the sun. Energy can change form as it moves through an ecosystem, but the total amount of energy remains the same or stays constant. This rule is called the law of conservation of energy. Organisms that make their own food are producers. So that's going to be your plants, your trees, your bushes, grass. If you have a plant cell with chlorophyll and chloroplast, you undergo photosynthesis. So the process of photosynthesis uses light energy to make food and oxygen from carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so if you still have this up here, here is your equation for photosynthesis, that 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 6 molecules of water with the help of the energy from the sun yields 1 molecule of glucose and 6 molecules of oxygen. The oxygen is let out through stomas in the leaves out into the atmosphere for us to breathe. That 1 molecule of glucose is stored in the leaves for the plant to use. Chemosynthesis. Make food using chemical energy, not light energy. So that's going to be places where there isn't any light. So like deep down into the ocean, or maybe in a cave, or deep down in some rock. So consumers obtain energy by eating other organisms. And so a consumer, you have to eat other organisms because we cannot make our own energy. An herbivore is only going to eat plants. A carnivore is only going to eat meat. An omnivore is going to eat both plants and consumers. So it's going to eat plants and meat. Consumers called detritivores eat dead organisms. Now we're going to lump scavengers in with that group. Another name for bacteria and mushrooms is decomposer. And we're going to add worms in with that as well, because that's an important decomposer. Decomposers help cycle nutrients through the ecosystem, carbon and nitrogen. And energy changes. As energy changes from one organism to another in an ecosystem, some stored chemical energy, because we know that chemical energy, that is food, right? Changes to thermal energy. A food chain is a model that shows how energy flows in an ecosystem through feeding relationships. So with a food chain, it's just going to be one feeding relationship. When you overlap the food chains in an ecosystem, the result is a food web. That's going to be more realistic of what's going on in your ecosystem. In a food chain and food web, arrows show the movement of energy. So if we have our producers here, and then we have an herbivore here, and then we have some type of consumer, either an omnivore or a carnivore here, we have our sun. So the movement of energy is shown with the arrows. It's not who eats who. It's not who's bigger than something else. It is transfer of energy. The energy pyramid. An energy pyramid shows the amount of energy available in each step of a food chain. The steps in this energy model are called trophic levels. The bottom layer of an energy pyramid contains producers. The middle layer of an energy pyramid contains consumers that eat producers. The top layer of an energy pyramid contains consumers that eat other consumers. only about 10% of the energy in one step of an energy pyramid transfers to the next higher step. So what I want you to do is I want you to scroll down here and I want you to draw a big triangle, okay? We're going to draw ourselves an energy pyramid. We're just going to go like this. Some of our energy pyramids, this one is going to show 3 levels, 3 trophic levels. Some have 4, some have 5. Okay, so the bottom layer here, the producer level, that's trophic level 1. That's where we have the most energy available. In the whole energy pyramid. Okay, so then we have our next level is going to be our primary consumers. And that is going to be an herbivore. So our primary consumer. They are going to feed directly on the producers. So they're a trophic level 2. Then we have our second level consumers that we might have being an omnivore, for example. Okay, that would be a trophic level 3. And we could have another one above that, 4, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the most energy is available down at this level right here, at this producer level, where we have all of these plants. That's because we've got how the energy from the sun, right, is creating all of these plants. And so the plants are going to use the energy from the sun to make their own food. They're going to use that for their own use, for their own reproduction and growth, and then they're going to store the rest. Only 10%, let's go ahead and change that to a darker color. Only 10% is available for the next level. Only 10% transfers up. Only 10% transfers up. So I'm going to scroll here. I'm going to kind of show you another little thing here. So let's quickly draw another energy pyramid here. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, so let's say we have 1,000 calories here available at the producer level. That producer level is going to use 900 of them. And they're going to use 900 calories. Now, this is just for demonstration purposes. Use 900 calories. And so what is available then for the next level is only 100 kilocalories. And of that level, then the herbivores, they are going to use, of this 100 kilocalories, they're going to use 90 of them. And then only 10 calories are available for this top level in the energy pyramid. So when we get to chapter 9, we're going to see how important that is and what that looks like in an ecosystem and how many top of the food chain organisms can an ecosystem support. So make sure you have all of your notes filled out before you take your comprehension check. All right, talk to you soon.